some point, I decided that I would do something. And that something I wanted to do was to run away from home. Yes, I ran away from home. That's Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Yake Teresa. If you're new here, you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back to watch my videos. I do not take this for granted. I'm super grateful. God bless you. So on today's video, I'm going to be talking about my first time visiting my biological father's home. From the title, you already know. My first time visiting my biological father's home. So I grew up with an aunt, my father's elder sister, and for the longest time of my life, I didn't know she was not my biological mother. I got to know she was not my biological mother at age 11. Yes, when I was 11 years old, that was when I knew she was not my biological mother. So I I started staying with her. She took me from my mom when I was a year and 6 months. God bless her soul. She's late now. So I stayed with her and she saw me through primary and secondary school. So when I got out of secondary school, she told me she cannot send me to the university again. I should go and ask my dad for support. Mind you, when I was living with her, my dad usually comes once in a while. And when he comes, they are always fighting, always fighting. They are always quarreling. So I didn't have this father-daughter relationship. I only saw him as my dad because I was introduced to him. He was introduced to me as my father. So he comes, sometimes he just stays the night and then he goes back. But there was no relationship between us. So at this point of my life, when she says I should go and ask him for help because she no longer has the capacity to send me to the university. So on this fateful day, she just called me after telling me, she says to me, Yake. By the way, that's my tribal name, Yake. So she called me and said, you have to go and seek assistance from your father. As you know, I can no longer assist you through university. And I was heartbroken because I was this very intelligent child who wanted to go to school, who wanted to achieve her dreams of becoming a petrochemical engineer, and I was heartbroken that day because from what I know, my dad is someone who didn't care for us. Um, he didn't care about us, and I was happy that I had an aunt who was willing to take me through school. But hearing this for the first time after many years, I was heartbroken. I was devastated. But then I didn't have anything to do, so she called me that morning. When she told me, get ready. Next week you'll be going to your father's place to go and ask him assistance for your schooling. I said, okay. I left. Different thoughts were going through my head. I was having a mixture of good and bad feelings, but there was nothing I could do. This was my reality. And that day came, she gave me money to go see my dad and ask for his assistance. Mind you, I have never been to my father's compound. I've never been to his home. I don't know the place. She didn't take me there herself. She did not ask anybody to take me there. She just gave me transport, gave me a description, told me the name to ask when I get to my father's village. So on that faithful day, I set out to go look for my biological father. I boarded the taxi, stopped at a particular village where she asked me to stop, boarded another taxi that took me straight to my father's village. And when I got there, exactly where she asked me to drop, I told the driver and they left me there. And I asked some people who lived around there of the name she asked me to ask. That's my great grandfather's name. When I asked, I was told that the compound is not too far from where I was, and that was how someone took me to the compound. Yes, I met my dad seated outside on that fateful day. I greeted him and he recognized me after a very long time of not seeing each other. He recognized me. Mind you, this was when I had come to Abuja to finish my secondary school, went back home. This was when she asked me to go see my father. I greeted him and he welcomed me. I was offered food, but because of the way I was brought up, I couldn't eat, even though this was my biological father's home. I didn't eat. I sat with him, and after some time, I told him my reasons for coming. I told him my aunt asked me to come and see you, that I need your assistance to see me through university. And my father said that was a good step, that is not going to say no, he's not going to say he would not assist me. And so he said something that really, really stuck in my head until date. He said to me, if I have to go to school, if he has to send me to school, I have to come back to the village and stay and go to the farm, get some farm produce, sell off, and then I can now go to school. I was heartbroken again. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say to him. I just told him, okay, let me go back and relate to my aunt, your sister, what you have told me. And he said, okay. And I set out to go back. I went back home, I related it to her. I told her this was what my dad told me. And she was really angry. She said a lot of things out of anger. She was so mad. She was so bitter about the whole thing that she has been sending me to school since I was born. Now she needed him to assist. This is what he is saying. My aunt was so angry, and she said, okay. So she didn't say anything again about schooling. At some point, she said I should go to Calabar. There's a school. I have to go there to learn computer. Of course, when I got to Calabar, I found out that it was a computer institute. I was to go and learn computer. It was not a university. But from what she was telling me, the school I'm going to is affiliated to Unical, so it's the same thing as a university degree if I go there. I got there, my cousin told me the truth because it was at my cousin's place I stayed, told me the truth. So here I am now, continuation of yesterday's video. So when I got to my cousin's place, he told me the truth about the fact that it was not a university, it was a computer institution where I'm supposed to learn like a 6 months program. It was never a university. So after everything, I went back home. I told her I went there and she never said anything about school again. I continued to stay with her back home there. We were there. I wake up to do the chores. I was doing the chores, but there's this part of me that I really wanted to go to school. I wanted to go to school, and my mom was not um, very buoyant. My mom didn't have money to take me through school. My dad himself, of course, he has asked me to come back home so I can come and go to the farm. I can go and farm and then send myself to school, which was not something that would be possible because how am I going to do it? Studying and at the same time farming. And I'm not a child that grew up at home in the village, so I really do not know what farming is all about. I do not know how to go to the farm. I do not know how to farm. So that was not even um, something to consider. So I kept staying at home. I'll do the chores. I'll wash her clothes. I was just praying to God, asking God for His mercies, that God should just come through for me, maybe touch her heart so that she would um, eventually say, okay, pick a jam form so you'll be able to go to school. But she never did. And I at some point I became tired because it was everyday quarrels, every day I have done something wrong, I have done something wrong, and it was messing with my mental health, and I needed to do something. At some point, I just knew I needed to do something, and if I don't do something, I would remain there without going to school. My mates, mind you, my classmates were all in school. Some were in their year two, some were in their year three, some were in their year one. Everybody was in school. Some were in school of nursing, university, colleges of education, but I was still at home. I was still at home. And I was one of the intelligent students while we were in school. Everybody expected that, oh, after school, she should be in school. But here I am. Every time they come home on holidays, we still meet in the supermarkets, meet in the markets, meet in shopping malls. They ask me how is school, and there's nothing to tell them because, of course, I'm not in school. So at some point, I decided that I would do something, and that's something I wanted to do was to run away from home. Yes, I ran away from home. That was it. I ran away from home. So in my next video, we're going to be talking about how I ran away from home and how it went. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've watched up to this point, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Thank you for always coming back. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, comment, like, and share the video, please. Thank you. Bye. See you in my next video.